Hello students and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be going through an article which talks about the budget to be a turning point for climate action. Means it is talking about reliance on the budget, how budget can be a turning point for the climate action that India should take because it is the need of the hour. So, what's the news actually, or what's the article about? The article talks about that this upcoming budget should seriously pay attention to climate action, right? Why? Because that is going to be helpful. So let's see, why is this the need of the hour? This is the need of the hour for various reasons. One such reason, of course, climate change is happening, because of which there has been an increased frequency of extreme climatic situations. So extreme weather events have been increasingly frequent, means extreme rainfall, extreme drought, extreme heat, so on and so forth, because of which economy suffers, of course human life suffers, socio-economic suffering is there for the entire nation and of course world at a large. At the same time, meeting the climate commitments. So India has made certain commitments. In fact, India has its INDCs, individually nationally determined contribution, that India talks about. We have done it, so we have to meet those commitments as well. At the same time, there is only 5 years left for what? For achieving the interim target of our goal of net zero emission. Net zero emission. Net zero emission means what? Does it mean zero carbon emission? No, it does not mean zero carbon emission. It means that the overall will be a net zero. Means if you are emitting 100 tons of CO2, you will also be sequestering or saving 100 tons of CO2 emission elsewhere. So the net impact, or harvesting or sequestering, so the net impact will be zero. That is our target. So we have to move towards that as well. Now the question is, how can the budget help? Of course the budget can help, because for achieving any target, you want to reduce poverty, reduce hunger, improve employment, this, that, anything you talk about, including climate change, you need money. And money is allocated through the budget. That is why the budget can help. So it's not just splashing money left, right, center, because again, the money is limited. If we invest something more here, we may have to cut our corners somewhere else. Right? So everything is important. Food, hunger, education is important. Our defense, military, etc. is of course important. At the same time, climate action and other things, the social sector schemes, all those things are important. So we need to budget and plan accurately and properly. So let's see what all can be done through the budget. Number one is standardization and clarity. First things first, there needs to be clarity and standardization with respect to the definition of green energy, clean energy, this energy, all those things should be absolutely clear. When that's clear, it gives clarity to the people who are working towards it, the businesses who want to achieve this, so on and so forth. Right. Secondly, if you talk about increased investment, now if you standardize things, if you give more clarity, then people will be more interested or more attracted to invest. See, if the government is giving a particular amount of subsidy on green energy, now if the definition of green energy is not clear, then I may be reluctant to invest in that. I may be reluctant to go for that. But if the definition is absolutely objectively clear, I will be sure, okay, if I do this, I will get this benefit, so let me go ahead with it and invest in it. So that's why clarity will indirectly lead to increased investment, right? And that of course is going to help us achieve India's nationally determined contribution. Now, what is this concept of India's nationally determined contribution? India has itself determined certain contribution which it will be doing. India stands on the concept of common but differentiated responsibility. Common but differentiated responsibility, CBDR. What does this mean? This means that different countries owe different responsibility towards climate change actions. The developed countries should be more responsible because they have exploited more. They are in a better position to take action. as compared to the developing countries or the least developed countries. So India does not shy away from taking action with respect to climate change, but India also wants others to take action as well, which is very logical, right? Apart from that, differential tax treatment, again very important. What differential tax treatment? See, you have a business, I have a business. You earn profit, I earn profit. But you are earning profit by polluting the environment more. I am earning profit by not polluting the environment that much. So there can be a tax rebate for me, a tax relief for me to some extent. So that is what is the concept of differential tax treatment. So tax treatment with respect to the businesses that are aligned with the taxonomy, aligned with the green energy, clean energy concept, and the ones that are not aligned with it can have differential tax treatment. Apart from that, there are various other things that can be done. One is expanding PLI scheme for solar module supply chain and various other clean energy sources. So what is PLI scheme? PLI scheme, in another lecture also I have taken up this concept. It is production linked incentive. Production linked incentive means the higher the production, the higher the incentive. So if you do the same in solar module supply chain, you will incentivize people to basically produce more, to have higher production, right? So this PLI scheme is already there in certain sectors. It needs to now expand to this and other clean and green and renewable energy sectors as well. Apart from that, public-private partnership, very important. Public-private partnership in general, with and for the railway renewable energy in particular. Okay, so public-private partnership, what? Because see, as I said, it requires money, right? So what the government can come up with is, instead of giving entire money, spending completely, come up with viable gap funding, come up with interest subvention scheme, come up with differential tax treatment, so that the government can give some incentive, some money, some liquidity, just to churn the economy and the businesses to go and get attracted towards investing in green and clean energy. And last but not the least, establishing climate action fund compliance. So what is this fund we are talking about? Climate action fund. How can the fund be formed? For that also you would need money. So the government has various cesses that they collect, the green energy cess, renewable energy cess, so on and so forth. So with respect to that, you can have a fund, and the cesses that are collected needs to be collected for specific reasons only. So those things can be specifically used for taking certain climate actions. Now, having said that, that is why all eyes are on the budget to see what things it come up with respect to climate action. Having said that, we know our responsibility and this is what needs to be done. But if we compare at a global front, India being a developing country, and we are not a very rich nation, of course not, and we are still developing. Considering that, India is one of the best performers when it comes to taking action with respect to the climate change. All right. So this is further things which can be done in the upcoming budget. The budget will be presented on 1st of February. As soon as that is presented, we will come up with the details of those budget, the explanation and everything, and we will dissect the budget in detail and see if these and other expectations are met or not. Thank you.